Kiper was asked about the half-dozen Miami football combined participants during a national teleconference with the draft guru last week. He discussed the draft forecasts for all of the Hurricanes' draft prospects. Graduated seniors, defensive tackle Gerald Willis, cornerback Michael Jackson and safeties Jaquan Johnson and Sheldrick Redwine, plus juniors, running back Travis Homer and defensive end Joe Jackson are all participating in the Combine in Indianapolis this week. Kiper projects Willis as a potential first or second round pick and Joe Jackson in the second round. The other 4 Miami potential draftees are projected to be taken on day 3 according to Kiper. 6 Miami football alums were selected in the 2018 NFL Draft. 3 of those players were on the defensive line. Miami's tradition of producing NFL-ready defensive linemen should continue for the foreseeable future. Kiper gave a scouting report on each of the Miami football alums taking part in the NFL Combine in Indianapolis this week. Barry Jackson quoted them in the Herald, "I think right now, if you look at where my ratings are, Willis had the huge year." Willis is in that late first, second round discussion. Jackson, coming off the edge, I think is more of a second round pick. I'm talking about Joe Jackson, Michael Jackson, the corner, more of a day 3 pick. Jaquan Johnson is a guy who has been a big play guy throughout his career. Look at what he's done in terms of tackles and making plays in the secondary, showed up in some key games. So, I think he's an early day 3 type of pick. Redwine as well. Homer is my 13th highest rated running back. That would put him in the 4th, 5th round, 6th round category. But running backs, as I said, always drop around are 2 lower than they're rated, but of that group, Willis and Jackson and Jaquan Johnson would be your top 3. The projections in the NFL draft can be varied depending on the media outlet. Michael Jackson could also be a first or second day pick according to some analysts. Scouts like Jackson because of his size and length. Jackson is listed at 6'1" pounds on his bio on the official Miami website HurricaneSports.com. All of the players could have their height and weight changed this week when all the players participating in Indianapolis are weighed and measured. Barry Jackson was on a conference call with the NFL Network's Daniel Jeremiah on Monday. Jeremiah doesn't seem as high on Michael Jackson as others. He's a physical kid, but there are some issues there. I thought, especially against the run, he got stuck on some blocks. He's a solid player. I had him more in that 5th, 6th round range. Johnson has been a great playmaker for Miami. He led the Hurricanes in tackles in each of the last 2 seasons. At 5'11" pounds he is undersized for the prototypical safety. Jeremiah discussed Johnson's strengths and weaknesses. Johnson is fun to watch. Playing in the middle of the field he has got tremendous burst. There's no hesitation, no fear. For a guy that's 186 pounds, he'll throw his weight, throw his body into people. It seems when you watch him on tape you can see him really directing traffic. He seems like kind of the leader back there, getting everybody where they need to be. Willis is expected to be the first Hurricane taken off the board. Jeremiah has a lot of praise for Joe Jackson, but projects him to be chosen later in the draft than Kiper does. When you look at the pass rusher, to me he's just a big, strong power rusher. I have him kind of in that 3rd round range. He's got tremendous power. He's got a nifty, little dip move coming off the edge, flashes some speed. I wrote down, he's a bully, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. But he's got to win early. He doesn't really have a second move once he gets engaged. It's going to be all power from that standpoint, so, just kind of developing a counter move will be big for him. Johnson received the most accolades in the secondary over the last few seasons. Michael Jackson and Redwine at 6'1" pounds have more ideal size for the NFL. Jeremiah discussed Redwine's prospects in the NFL. Redwine, a little more prototypical in terms of a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. He's a real physical, sure tackler, excellent blitzer. You see him in the middle of the field some as well as over the slot. I wanted to see those guys in person to see how they would kind of separate themselves watching them move around. But as of right now they're right together. Third, fourth round, is where I have their grades. Losing Johnson, Michael Jackson and Redwine are big losses to the Miami secondary. They had to rebuild similarly 2 years ago when those three stepped into larger roles. Losing Willis is an equally big blow. Replacing someone with his talent and production is nearly impossible. Next, Manny Diaz's loyalty to Miami football made him only hire as head coach. With the depth the Hurricanes have at running back and defensive end, replacing Hummer and Joe Jackson will not be as difficult. Several players are waiting and ready to step up with their departures.